We will begin with Joe Burrow. If you have any questions for Joe, please press star one on your telephone keypad now. And Joe, while we are waiting on questions, please take a moment to comment on the LSU team entering the SEC championship game.
Yeah, so we're fired up to be here. I mean, LSU hasn't been there since 2011, so this is one of the goals we had for the season. So we're fired up to play.
To ask a question for Joe Burrow, please press star one. First question is from Murray Poole of Bulldog Illustrated.
Hey, Joe, you had a pretty good year last year, throwing the ball and running. But do you think this change in the offensive concept this year to the more spread has really obviously developed your game even more? And, what would you say about all that?
Yeah, I think, the concepts and things we're doing this year really kind of utilize all the weapons we have on offense more so than last year. We're doing some of the same things we did last year, but obviously everyone has seen that it's quite different. So we're really just utilizing the weapons we have on the outside and getting people in space and trying to make defenses make one-on-one plays.
Okay, thank you.
To ask a question for Joe Burrow, please press star one. Next question is from Henry Queen of the Red and Black.
Hey, Joe, what have you seen from the Georgia defense, particularly in the inside linebacker core, like Monty Rice and all them, including what you saw from them last year?
Yeah, I mean, they're one of the top 2 or 3 defenses in the country, giving up like 9 or 10 points a game, something crazy like that. They're just a super solid defense all around. DB's really good. They play sound in their scheme. You can tell they're coached very well. So it's going to be a tall task for us.
To ask a question for Joe Burrow, please press star one. Next question is from Anthony Dasher of Rivals.com.
Hey, Joe. It's actually Mark Weiser with the Athens Banner-Herald. We're all here together in the Georgia media room. Wanted to ask you kind of what your first memory is with kind of getting together with Joe Brady and talking to him about his ideas for the offense and what the takeaway was. Did you think it was going to be a game changer?
Yeah, so actually one of my best friends from Ohio State, JT Barrett, was on Saints practice squad last year with Coach Joe. And so the first kind of thing I heard about him was from JT. JT called me and told me I was going to love this guy. We were going to be best friends. And that's exactly what it's turned out to be. It's been great for us.
And did you envision when you were, I guess, a high school quarterback in Athens, Ohio, that you'd be, leading a big-time program, on this stage with this kind of opportunity in front of you still in the next, weeks ahead?
So when I envision myself on a stage like this. I don't know if I envision myself in Louisiana at LSU, but this is what I've always dreamed of. It's never been my dream to play in the NFL. I wanted to play in games like this, SEC, Big Ten championship games, and national title games.
Thank you.
To ask a question for Joe Burrow, please press star one. We'll go back to Murray Poole of Bulldog Illustrated.
Yeah, Joe, what would you say about your offensive line, the way it's protected you this year? Many times you've thrown the ball. You've really been pleased with those guys up front all season long.
Yeah, they're one of the most improved groups I've ever been around. Last year I think they felt they took a lot of criticism from a lot of different areas, and they worked so hard this offseason to get where we needed them to be, and they've been one of the best units in the country for us.
And Coach Orgeron said last night that your passing game is opened up the running game, and the running game with Clyde has opened up the passing game for you. Is that the case of two areas just really complementing each other well all year?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we started off the season and we weren't running the ball very well, and then about game 4 or 5, we started really rolling on the ground. And I think the difference between us this year and last year is we're kind of throwing the ball to open up the run, and Clyde and those alignment are taking advantage. You know, Clyde is, I think he's the best back in the country, and that's the biggest difference in this year and last year.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Anthony Dasher, Rivals.com.
Hey, this is Connor Riley with Dog Nation. How big was that Georgia game last year for you guys, just in terms of, you know, instilling confidence in you guys to go and win a big game against an opponent like that?
Yeah, it was huge for us. We were coming off of our first loss of the year at Florida. We were going into that game, we were like, shoot, we got to play Georgia again this week. You know, it's not the easiest task. And so we knew we had to win that game if we wanted to have a successful season for the rest of the year. And it turned out that way. The crowd was great. They played a huge part. We're kind of going into enemy territory this week, so they're gonna want revenge on us. So we're gonna have to be on our game for sure.
And then with Clyde Edwards-Helaire, what has sort of allowed him to be as successful as he has been, especially over the second half of the season?
Yeah, I think he's excelled in the passing game. You know, you have to put a linebacker on him because we're running the ball so well, and I don't think there's a linebacker in the country that can cover him. So they really have to pick their poison. They want to stop Clyde in the run game or the pass game. He's so versatile in that aspect.